world? What time is it?
It's wee TJ and Critters time.
Leech. We are going to put the back axle in those critters. I'm just going to have to video through it. Hold on. Oh.
This is the raw footage.
The wife's home today. She's going to have to deal with the critters today. Carolina rake here. February 4th, 2023. Carolina rake is still a thing. I just went up to the gas station, saw a whole group of them high-fiving each other, and these are people that, they didn't have the stupid little whoops, but I digress, so I'm getting off here. But, for me, I like a level Jeep. I don't like them when they set up a little bit in the back. I like them level, or just, you know, in the 80s. Shut up! The little girl dog, if she thinks that she's not being given enough attention, she'll start barking at the male dog. And the male dog's like a little saint. He is, except to tear into you, but all right, well, as I suspected, it was the girl dog. She's in there causing trouble. All right, I like Jeeps to set flat, or actually just a little bit, just a tiny bit, a touch high in the front. I've always liked the looks of 4x4 straight axles of the, I don't know, 80s. When I thought of 70s and 80s, a lot of times you'd see Ford, Chevy with the solid front axles. They were either flat or just a little rake, negative rake. So yeah, some people may not like that look. Oh, I don't like the stupid, you know, you can't even see the road down through there. But Harley's Jeep has a perfect stance.
Yeah,
it is perfect, and we're trying to figure out why his Jeep is perfect, and mine looks like somebody has a jack under the back of it.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things I'm going to address. And I just saw somebody brought up, hey, you know, you're going to the bigger axle, the tube's going to be bigger, and so it's actually going to raise the back of it. I had not thought about that.
There's an easy solution to all this. Go buy some bags of concrete and throw it on the back.
I was thinking about putting factory springs in the back.
Yeah.
But
yeah, there's your Carolina rake.
So Harley brought up, he says, maybe it's my stupid heavy rear bumper. And these things are heavy. I know, man.
So I got the Smittybilt XRC. I think they still make this one. I'm not sure. I know this one's definitely older. Been on here for a long time, so that's a heavy bumper. So
I don't know if they can see.
It's got the hitch back there.
Yep, and that is a big advantage. That's a big advantage. We both have straight the Terraflex, so we corrected so the springs are straight up and down. They're both set identical, so that's not an issue. This is setting on Rusty's 3-inch springs.
Mine is.
Front and rear.
He also has the Terraflex. He also has the very well used Black Rhino rash rings.
And actually, I'm going to be putting these up for sale. These Toyos, I have brand new rash rings. These suckers are going to look brand new.
And these tires, I was just looking at that. These are in good shape.
The Toyos, they are very good tires.
Yours are in good shape.
Anytime I talk to people, I said, if you're 99% are going to be on the road, buy these Toyo mud trains. I think there might be a couple better alternatives if you're going off-roader, off-road.
Yeah, like mine.
Yeah. And hopefully the tires that I am getting, so we'll find out. I do need to polish this guy right here. Either way, I want you to shoot back here. Shoot from the side.
Yeah, you can see it right there. Yeah. That's all you need to see.
I mean, when we get it loaded down with luggage and everything,
yours does set low in the back a little bit.
It's awesome.
It finally goes down, but
it's awesome.
Just the way it sets, because the majority of the time, unless you're carrying someone in the back, this is the way it sets.
All right, so
Carolina rake in the back.
So it seems like it's got worse.
Or actually in the front, would it be?
Seems like it's got worse since we put soft top on.
Yep, that would definitely affect it some.
The Barnes rear, that Barnes bumper weighs nothing. Even though it's made out of steel, it is a...
And then you have the crowd out there that wants the lightest bumper because they want to keep their Jeep light, but in this scenario,
Well, that thing's gonna
it's
be,
actually hurting you.
That's going to be as light as aluminum because by the time you go with the thicker gauge... Oh, shut up! Okay. Alright, man. Now you wonder why we don't make videos because we have all the racket, the critters, the stupid ring cameras. You are being recorded. You are being barked at. Okay, let's get back to this. This Barnes axle weighs nothing.
Axle? That's an axle? Wow.
Rusty's
14 and a quarter.
It's not Rusty's, this is Barnes.
It's 14 and a quarter, Daddy.
What is 14 and a quarter? Yeah, no, that's a side jog. There's Rusty's tire carrier. I guess there's a little bit of weight there.
Yeah, you got a little bit more weight over me on that bracket, but
okay,
because there's that big plate in the center too.
You know, things that are going to change. These don't weigh anything.
Yep.
But the thing is, all my Generite stuff, it's not going on right now.
Yeah.
But all the Generite stuff is all aluminum. I went 100% aluminum.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to paint it because I do not like the look of
bare aluminum.
The raw aluminum.
Yeah.
Just for me, I know I'm gonna get stone chips. I know I am, and I'll just address it. Okay, we're gonna measure this thing because before we pop this Dana Rear 60 in, what do we got there? 8 and 3/8.
Yep.
8 and 3/8 from that tire. Actually, we really can't do that because I can't bolt that tire onto the Dana 60.
Yes, but we'll just take the same measurement and we'll remove whatever diameter and tire difference you have from that measurement.
So I just figured this would be helpful for some of you's 4.5 inch lift. We're at 4.5 inches there. That's not what I meant. I meant that there's a 4.5 inch lift. We're right at 5 inches there. So we'll put the bigger tires on, we'll come back out here after the 60's in there, and we're gonna get the same shot. What I was getting at is not only are we gonna have 37s in there, that I believe that 60 is going to manipulate the size a little bit because it's gonna have bigger tube and it's gonna raise the springs. It's going to even exacerbate this even more. I'm gonna look like one of the 80s Hot Wheels drag cars.
Yeah, we'll see how much,
So let's get a side shot of this. Did you already do that?
Yeah, I did. But we'll do it again.
So I guess if you got about 10 girls on the back of this, it's set about right.
Yeah.
Or maybe
I've mentioned some people say instead of purchasing different springs, you can find the amount that you need and cut it off the bottom of the spring.
that. Wait, did you get that off from a
forum?
A forum?
No. I've heard that on videos.
That sounds like it came up. That's
you can't do that
with the way these springs are. You really can't do that.
Okay. Right.
Let me look at this.
Because
no, you won't be able to.
Do they swirl smaller in the bottom?
Not only do they, but
they're
it's big. Okay. It is a single rate, but how they have the coils made.
Well, there was also the part I didn't mention.
You won't be able to hold it in place.
They were talking about if you cut the center of the spring, if you zip tied the two pieces back together.
Yes.
And yeah.
That's great to have a Jeep.
And you could weld it too.
Yeah. I'm liking where this Jeep is going with zip ties. So, okay, let's put the axle in there. So, I'm assuming that it's going to be dumb looking after we get the. I'm going to have front wheel drive here soon because we're going to put the axle in. We won't have rear drive shaft. I'm not undoing both. I just want to see the clearances there because most people. I saw another Jeep that they were running 37s on stock and they didn't trim it. I don't know if they really extended the bump stops.
Well, I am going to say, just the way your Jeep sets, it looks like you got plenty of room for 37s. So, I mean, your back is like jacked.
Jacked.
I mean, it looks like a zero turn with a lift kit on it. So.
Nice. I always wanted my Jeep TJ to be considered a zero turn. I just. All right, let's get to it. That was pretty right there. All right, unlike the first part of the video, I'm going to try to cover this stuff quick because there's a lot to it. This, oh yeah, those arms right there. You know, this Dana 60 right here, we can't be putting scratched up arms against that. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna wheel as hard. Honestly, I don't. We've done a lot of trails. We beat them down some pretty hard trails, and people are always surprised when they wheel with us. They're like, "Oh, we didn't know you guys would go down there." Yeah, we would. Yeah, I don't know if we're probably gonna be a little bit softer on our Jeeps. It's hard because for me, if I see a spot, I want to go down it. I do, and I'm gonna try. To treat my TJ a little bit better than I have. Okay, and that's 44. I don't know why Harley and I are so sentimental to this thing. I don't know if the fact that we drove up to southern part of Ohio, West Virginia, Ohio border, Interstate 77. There's a salvage yard that they park Jeeps out up there, and we went up there and picked one up, brought it back. Just had a little bit of rust on it, just standard. There was no buildup rust. Sandblasted it. It's been an excellent axle. Put chromoly shafts in it. Eaton E-locker. I did move this. This is originally the track bar mount was down there, and I raised it up to there. So that's there. What else? We got the infamous spacers here, 1.25 Spyderco. Yeah, 1.25. So actually overall width, I'm at 63 inches. This guy, this D60, is at 63.5 with no wheel spacers. My wheels are going to be, I had -18, and I'm going to -44 offset. So that, with no wheel spacers, with the new axles and those -44, it's going to take me up a couple inches in width. I think roughly about 2 inches additional axle width. Either way, let's get back to this 44. So actually, this 1310 drive shaft, yes, 1310 right there, 1310 yoke, 1310 yoke there. You're like, Darren, you're putting a 1310 in front of that Dana 60? Yeah, I've been talked into it. I've had way too many people, and it's starting to seem like it's almost becoming some of a trend in the industry to get people to go with 1310s. I don't know if it's a wise move. From our perspective, okay, I'll just say what a lot of the mechanic mind of it is, if you're going to have a weak point, why not have it in the drive shaft? Valid point. There's another point as far as 1310 drive shafts are significantly lighter than a 1350 drive shaft. And these Jeeps tend to have a little bit of an issue with vibration and harmonics, and I don't know if it's the size of the vehicle that they are having troubles with squunches, whatever. Getting rid of that vibration. If Harley was here, he'd correct me. But maybe I'll edit it out, or maybe I won't. Either way, so 1310 is what I'm going to. But this is interesting. So I measured from the center of that tube right there, kind of rough measurement there, to the center of that yoke, 12 3/4. And we got 12 3/4 there. Can it be? Can it be that I'm going to be allowed to reuse that drive shaft over there? I was not expecting to be able to reuse it. And probably after I get it put in, I probably won't be able to reuse it. But right now, I'm expecting to reuse it. I figured I was going to have to change drive shaft. And when I changed it, I was going to switch from my slip yoke eliminator, and I was going to go to a Terraflex super short slip yoke eliminator. That gains you yet again another inch or so. So I would be able to go with a little bit longer drive shaft than I have, even though I'm not having any issues. I'm not having any vibrations. Let's go back to that 1350 conversation. Harley has a 1350 super built drive shaft back there. We did have some vibrations. It took us a little while to get that squared away and get that out of there. So I think what some of the axle companies are saying is valid. Me, I really didn't care. I'm indifferent about this whole conversation. So, two other things. We're thinking that depth right there of the housing is the same between this 44 and this 60. Another thing I want to bring up, axle tube, 2 5/8, 3.5. Dana 60, 3.5. 44 here is, and I think the Dana 35 are the same. However, I do know that the Dana 35 is shorter here. I believe it's shorter. I shouldn't say I know, because I forgot. I can't remember, but I believe it's shorter. I think the 44 is longer housing in the center section there. What else do I want to bring up? I'm running on long here. The spring purchase. The spring purchase, the standoff from there down to the axle, I believe is the same from there to that Dana 60. So I mentioned 2 5/8 here, 3.5 there. So that means that the tube overall is 7/8 larger. Divide that in 2, you end up with 7/16. That means my back of my Jeep is going to be roughly 7/16 higher. Yeah, so, you know, maybe after I get everything bolted up, it'll be a little bit different. But, yeah, I'd already anticipated going down to running 4.5 in the front and 4-inch springs in the back. Shoot, I may be down to 3.5-inch springs now. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So everything else from the brackets to everything else looks like it's going to be bolted on. I will cover in another video the e-brake cables. The e-brake cables are a little bit different. You're going to be, it looks like I'm going to be able to use my stock cables, but I'm going to have to do something a little quirky. So, all right. I think this stuff's valid. I think it's valid for you as someone watching this, that if you possibly ever look at switching to the Dana 60, these are things that you might want to know. So let's leave it there. I hear one of the critters getting riled up now, so I'm gonna go check on him. All right, see yous.